Hi, welcome back. Another awkward video from your awkward friend Jess. Baby's sleeping, so I'm in my room and you might be able to hear the fan. Hopefully not. Don't know how to edit audio quality stuff, so hopefully that's alright and it's not annoying. If not, you kind of have to put up with it because I don't know what I'm doing. This is just an update on Optifast. So today is day 13. I have tomorrow left of my 2 weeks. Tomorrow is Friday and then I will have surgery first up on the table Saturday morning. So surgery in 2 days, which is really weird and really crazy. I thought I'd just talk a bit about Optifast and how the pre-op diet has worked for me. To be honest, I've not really found it that bad food-wise. Mood-wise is a whole other story, but I'll get to that in a minute. So basically with Optifast, for me, I've been having 3 Opti products a day. So I've had a mix of shakes, desserts, and I ended up buying some bars because I was running out of shakes. I have had a couple of soups, but they're not that nice. Out of all of them, the soups are really not that great. I would avoid them if I can. I do have to have either one soup today or tomorrow. That way I don't have to open up a whole new box of stuff, so it's easier to sell. So I will suffer a soup. I also have 2 cups of veggies with lunch, and then depending on what day it is, I usually have 100 grams of chicken breast and stir-fry veggies. Gym days, it's swapped around a little bit, mostly because I wanted something more solid in my system before going for a workout. So that's been alright. I've just juggled it around. Also found out, unless someone else is in the house for support, my small child hates the blender, and the easiest way to tolerate the shakes is to blend them with ice and berries. They get quite boring quite quickly, so ice and berries thickens them up a bit, changes the flavour slightly, and that makes it a lot easier to have it daily. So that's one reason why I had to get some bars. Also, again, I didn't want to just open up a new box when I only needed a few, so it was easier just to buy some bars. That way I didn't have to have desserts 3 times a day, because that didn't really sit well with me. I didn't like the idea of doing that. And having a bar in the morning has made it a lot easier, because I don't have to freak out thinking, how am I going to make my breakfast when my son screams if there's no one else to support him and I have to use the blender? So that's just taken that out of the equation and made it a lot easier at home while my husband is still working. So that's kind of how the diet side of it, the food side of it has gone. I've not found it too bad. The first 3 days were hell. I had a massive headache for 3 days. I had really bad brain fog, just couldn't think, couldn't function. And then by the 4th day, I realised I wasn't drinking enough water. My system had kind of gotten a little bit more used to it. So yeah, usually I think by about the 4th day I was starting to feel better. The first week wasn't too bad. I was still training like normal. I managed to hit 135 kgs for my deadlift. 140 got up twice, couldn't get it off, well, I got it off the ground but not up, so it didn't count. But I'm happy with that. Being on such a low calorie diet and still being able to lift that kind of weight, like, I am so happy with that. So that was last week. So that was pretty good. I was very grumpy, very grumpy, and I was hungry all the time, like constantly hungry. This week's been different. Over the weekend we had to travel 5.5 hours to the top of the South Island for a family event. There was a last minute change of plans, which meant that me and my son could actually go with my husband, which was nice. So that was challenging, the food stuff didn't really challenge me. I'm like, it's just what it is, I have to do it. I didn't mind being around people eating lots of different food. I didn't feel like I was going without. I just managed it. It was fine. Just really grumpy. Really grumpy. And then this week, I'm just so tired. I have naps when my son naps. I've had a lot of help from my mum and my mother-in-law to come and help me with my son, because it's very, very hard to run around after a 1-year-old, keep him entertained and stimulated, and I've just got no fuel. I've got nothing in me. So it's been very hard this week. This week everything's kind of crashed. I'm like, why am I doing this? This sucks. I don't think about food really. I haven't really been having veggies at lunch. Just because I've not really needed it. I feel like because I'm on such a restricted diet at the moment that I think the way my hunger works and the amount of food I can have in my stomach has definitely started to change, just because I can't eat that much. And getting the Opti product in is more important, because that's got all my protein and all my vitamins and everything in it. So sometimes for lunch I've not bothered having salad or anything, because having the Opti product is more important. And the salad is more just to keep you full. I've been having a lot of miso soup. I did forget to mention that. So I've been having a lot of miso soup because I can have miso soup. And in that first week that was really, really helpful in between when I felt like I needed something and I was getting hungry and I was getting cranky. This week it's been good as well, because when I feel like I'm really starting to get low on energy, I can have a bit of miso soup. And I feel like, okay, I can last another hour, another 2 hours before I go for sleep. So that's kind of gotten me through most of this week. Plus all the help from the grandparents, which has been amazing. And this week I only got to the gym once. And the only reason why I went is because it was testing again. So for my squat and bench, I did 100 squat, which was good because this time I actually got the depth on it. I have done 100 squat before, but I skimped out on the depth, so it didn't count. This time I got depth perfect. Getting the bar back up wasn't the prettiest looking thing. I lost tightness in my upper back, so I tipped forward slightly, but I mean it was down and it was back up, so it was fine. I had no expectations for that, and I had no expectations for bench. I would have liked 60 for bench, but I got 57.5, so I'm still happy with that. Don't know why I'm telling you about my gym scores when this is meant to be about OptiFast, but anyway. So yeah, gym has been difficult this week just because I've just not been thinking. Brain fog has been back. Lots of sleeping, very low energy. I don't think I'm as grumpy, but I am a lot more emotional. I get upset quite easily. Probably feeling a little bit depressed, to be honest. Don't really know why, just so far I'm not nervous about the surgery. It's just been no energy, just want to sleep all the time. So not being able to give my full attention to my son and needing help has bothered me, because this is meant to be the time where I'm not studying, I'm not doing anything, I can take him out and do stuff and play with him, and instead I've got no energy to do any of it. So we sit at home and we run around the house. So this week's been hard. Mentally it's been hard. I've also, I don't know if it's my blood pressure or if it's just with the lack of food and everything, but I find that if I bend down and then stand back up, if I stand up too quick I get really dizzy. Sometimes I have to sit back down, so dizzy spells which haven't been fun. that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, it's been an interesting 2 weeks. First few days were really not good. But this week I'm like, it doesn't really worry me. I wouldn't, that's the thing, I wouldn't recommend OptiFast unless you actually had to be on it. I don't recommend it as a way to lose weight. There'll be a point in a minute. So I've actually lost 4.5 kilos in 2 weeks, which for someone like me, that never happens. I mean, 3 years to lose 10 kgs and I've lost 4.5 in 2 weeks. But some of that will be muscle. It's not all fat loss. I know for a fact that some of it is muscle. I had a body scan. I can see that my muscle has been affected by this. So yes, being on this kind of diet, you will lose weight. But at what cost? I think for the average person, this is not a diet to go on. I think as a preparation for surgery, then, well, I mean, obviously that's what they get you to do. So yeah, that works. For people who have had surgery or they've already overhauled their diet, and if they're using Opti to kind of reset, if they feel like they're falling back into bad eating habits, they want a couple of days of just shakes or bars, something quite restrictive, really set in stone, only eat at these times, then I think that would work to get you back into the mindset of not snacking all the time and healthy eating and being mindful of food. But I think for the average person, if they're just trying to find a quick fix to lose weight, or someone with medical conditions who finds it hard to lose weight, it's not going to work because it's not sustainable. You cannot keep it up, because as soon as you stop it and you go back to regular food, unless you have all of those other good habits in place, you're just going to pile the weight back on. It's like any other diet on the market. Your body gets so used to being at a certain weight and functioning at a certain weight, so when you drop below that and then you start eating normal food again, your body is fighting to go back to what you were, and then you end up gaining more. That's how it works. Or at least that's how the surgeon explained diet culture to me. And that's why diets don't work. So pre-surgery or pre-surgery or post-surgery, or if you're already someone who has changed eating habits and you want to kind of reset your mind to get back on track, then yeah, it could work. Anyone else? No, don't recommend it. I do not recommend going on OptiFast in order just to lose weight for the sake of losing weight. It's not going to work. Short term, yes. Long term, no. No, definitely not. But yeah, I think the only thing I need to be mindful of is that I have been weighing myself a lot. It was a trap I didn't want to fall into. But I've never seen myself lose weight so quickly. So I kind of have to look at myself a bit like a science experiment, because I've never seen this before, and I find that really interesting. So I'm not weighing it every day, and if it changes and I gain a few grams or a kg or whatever, then I take it for what it is. Maybe I weighed at a different time. Maybe I'm wearing different clothing. Maybe I ate something differently that day. Well, it doesn't matter. So I have to look at it kind of like I'm my own science experiment, because I've never seen any of this stuff. I've never seen my body change this way before. There's a cat trying to come through the window. Every time I film, she decides she wants attention. So yeah, that was my Opti for 2 weeks. Didn't mind it. Gets pretty boring, but I mean, I'm boring with food anyway. Oh, another interesting thing. So, I have started to be more mindful about food. So, I've never noticed the smell of brown sugar. And I know that probably sounds really strange, But I was making my husband a cup of tea, and he always has a teaspoon of brown sugar. He has like a massive teacup. It's not a normal teacup size. It's like a massive cup. And he has 1 teaspoon of brown sugar. And I opened up the brown sugar container and I couldn't get over how sweet it smelled. And it's not like I've stuck my head in the container. It was just took the lid off it and all I could smell was sugar. I don't think I've ever experienced that before, and that's really weird. So I'm definitely, the way that I notice food is changing, which is good. That's what needs to happen. I need to be more mindful about food. I need to be doing mindful eating, so I need to experience food with all of my senses. That way my brain can actually catch up to the fact that I'm eating or that I'm full. Because if I don't engage all of my senses when I eat, then I can potentially eat too much because my brain's not registered what I'm doing. That was one of the things the dietitian went over. Dietitian? Psychologist. Probably both actually. But I just found that really interesting. I've just never noticed the smell of sugar. So yeah. I think that's pretty much it. I've not done much this week. Just Optifast and surgery in 2 days. And hopefully I can get this video up before then. Feeling okay about surgery. Mostly I just want this period over and done with because I'm so tired. I just really want my energy levels back because I feel like I'm useless at the moment. I can't get anything done. That's about it. Me. Naked face. Hair everywhere. Yeah. Probably gonna go have a nap. Bye.